Nicole Scobrook is our guest today. You might not know that name, but chances are you may have heard of the Coupon Cutie, and that is Nicole. Nicole, how did you get into this world of couponing, and you've grown such a large online following of finding deals for people? Where'd this all begin for you?
Yeah, about 9 years ago now, I've always been frugal and always wanted to save money. And one of my coworkers' son, he was huge into couponing and extreme couponing. And I was like, I want to do that. And then that's where it all started, and I didn't stop.
Was it originally for products that you wanted, or was it just the excitement and the joy of getting that product? I myself love the deals, even if it's something that I don't need.
Definitely in the beginning, it was all like when I first started, I was more so the extreme couponer. I wanted all the deals. I wanted to get all the fun stuff, the free stuff, the zero bills, like all of that. I was super excited about.
Now, my wife and I, we actually did this quite a few years ago, about a decade ago. And when I say my wife and I mean she did it. She did all the work. It's a lot of work to do it, especially in Canada, isn't it? But it can be done.
Definitely. So like extreme couponing is absolutely, like you're saying, it's a lot of work. But couponing and saving money at the store, to me, that's not the hard part. That's doable. But the extreme part, that's pretty time consuming. You're right.
We did go, I think it was like 4 or 5 years. We didn't pay for shampoo in 4 or 5 years. So it seemed to be that and yogurt and stuff. But this topic came to mind for Colleen and I because, I mean, everybody's looking to save money now at the grocery stores, right? Our grocery budget's almost doubled the last few months this year. Where do families how do we begin simply? If we don't want to go extreme couponing, but we are looking to save money and bring those costs way down, what's the best place for us to start?
I would definitely start with price matching or stocking up when you can on cheaper items when they're on sale. Cash back apps are some of the easy ones, or collecting points. Just anything that you feel comfortable trying, start with that and then go from there, because sometimes people get overwhelmed if they go for everything and then they're like, okay, I don't want to do this. And that's not what we want to happen for anybody. We want you to save money. So
you mentioned price matching. For those who don't know how to do that, how do we price match?
Yeah. So for price matching, what you do is you go to the store. So there's in Winnipeg, there's Superstore, there is Giant Tiger, Freshco, No Frills. They all price match. And what you do is you download this app called Flip on your phone, and then you look up the price of the item. And then if you can find it for cheaper somewhere else, you show that to the cashier and they'll match the price for you.
Okay, I'm writing that down, getting the app. Go ahead, Colleen.
And if you're old school and still get flyers like me, you bring that flyer along, right?
You absolutely can do that still, 100%.
Okay, but this is where it gets difficult already, because that requires me speaking up, and then I feel weird about it. I feel like I've got in my head somehow I'm being rude about it. Yeah, what is people's response when you do it at the till and you're like, I'm sorry, cashier, but I'm price matching right now. What are they like? Do they just do it for you?
You would be shocked. They absolutely do not care about price matching one bit. People always think they do and they're scared, and price matching, they don't care at all. But to be fair, when you do have coupons, they don't love that. So I will be honest with you there. They don't always love that.
You got a whole stack.
Yeah, if you have a whole stack of coupons, they're not going to like that.
Okay, now speaking of that couponing and coupons, where do you even start with coupons? Where do you go to get these coupons, and where do you use them?
Yeah, so most coupons you can use at pretty much any store, but how you find them is, so coupons can be found in the store. So like Superstore has coupons, No Frills, Sobeys, Freshco, Shoppers, and they're in the aisles, like on the shelves. And lots of people will say, I've never seen a coupon at the store before. And then next time they'll go to the store after hearing me say this, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't notice that. So yeah, in the store, and then you can also print them off online as well.
And you also have all those coupons on your own website, correct?
Yeah, so I have every time I see a new coupon, I put them onto the couponcutie.ca so that everyone can have access to it and they don't have to go hunt around for everything.
So you're talking about like printing off your own coupons. It's obviously like I'm thinking of like the cost of a printer and paper and ink and stuff, but obviously you've probably worked that all out and it's worth it to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I literally just have my printer set up and I was printing right before we started this interview.
Love it. Going back to these coupons, what part of the store do you find most of these coupons? Is it in like the health and beauty products, or is it in specific foods? Like where in the store should people be looking for coupons?
It's not in a specific spot. They kind of put them all over the place. So I would say if someone's new to couponing and you're like, where should I look? I would give yourself about 10 minutes and walk the store. Just go down a few aisles. And then once you start to notice them, you'll just look down the aisle from the end and you'll see the little hang tags. So they're on this little black peg, and they're just like called a tear pad. And it's like about this big. I don't know if it's like the size of a makeup bag.
Here's an interesting question. Is there proper etiquette when it comes to those coupons? Like, is it okay to take more than one? Have you taken more than one in the past? What's the proper etiquette when it comes to that?
For sure. So this is a hot topic in the couponing community.
Oh, juicy. Spill some tea. I think that's what the kids say now. Let's hear it.
So definitely there's people who take too many coupons and make it so that others can't get any, which is unfortunate. So sometimes people do have a hard time finding them at the store. I personally say if it's something that you like, take a few, but don't take them all. Try to leave some for others because it's fun to coupon. It's fun to get all these things free, but if you don't need them at the end of the day, just leave it for someone else.
Sharing is caring, as my children remind me all the time. So you mentioned points as well. I don't know, Colleen, if you have more coupon questions, but points always intrigue me. I've often found it seems like the stores that have like the best point programs also items cost a lot more at those stores though. So how do we figure out the points and how to use points to our advantage then?
Yeah, so depending on which store you would be referring to specifically, like the most popular point system is PC Points. That's the one everyone loves. Shoppers Drug Mart has 20 times the points. And then there's like Air Miles, but they're switching to Cineplex points now, I believe. But speaking on PC, they definitely wouldn't be the most expensive store. And even if they are, they price match at Superstore and No Frills. So definitely that's something we take advantage of, where we'll stack a price match with a points offer, even with a coupon if possible.
Nice.
So
that's like a triple whammy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Superstore, No Frills, definitely some of your cheapest options. I was thinking kind of like Shoppers Drug Mart and stuff like that. But I forgot, yeah, they're PC Points now too.
But on that note about Shoppers Drug Mart, the thing is a lot of people are like, oh, I'll earn the points back, so let's go buy a whole bunch of Shoppers. Don't do that. Like,
okay,
that's what people shouldn't do, because if you're buying something at full price just to earn points back, that defeats the purpose. Yeah. But if you can find things on sale there and then get the points, that's what we want to do.
And what most people don't realize too when it comes to points is if you do use them often enough, those points start getting tailored to what you buy, and then you end up getting more points as time goes on.
Exactly. They do. And it's neat how PC does that. I like it. And I just like with Shoppers, it's a huge part of what we do because every Tuesday they have like an offer that you can take advantage of. So we often try to find deals that everyone can do to save at Shoppers. So it's not you're paying that full price.
Funny story. Embarrassing story, whatever you want to call it. My mom and I going to Shoppers. Speaking of Shoppers, my mother and I, we would put all of our stuff on her PC card. And then there would be these days where you got like extra points or extra amount of money for that specific amount of points. So we would go till we'd get to that certain amount. And then we'd go on a shopping spree on those days. And we just fill the cart. We had the calculator, the paper and everything. Those days were good days. And that was back when my kids were babies. So we bought a whole lot of diapers, and those got a whole lot of points.
I still remember back in the day at Shoppers that how you accumulated points. The more you accumulated, the more money you got off. So it was, you always wanted to hold out to that maximum redemption level because you wanted all the points.
What have you been noticing? Because we're speaking about shopping and over the years of shopping, what have you noticed in the stores when it comes to not only pricing, but packaging, etc.? What have you noticed?
Well, definitely over the last year, for sure, everything's been increasing constantly. So the price of everything pretty much has gone up. And then also with the size of the packaging, some items, let's say that were maybe 500 grams are now 400 grams, and the price is the same, if not gone up.
How do most people, or I don't know. I know I'm very aware of what I'm buying and I'm very aware of prices, but how do we keep people on top of that? And how do we teach them to be aware of prices and sizes and whatnot?
Yeah, this is definitely a huge thing I've been focusing on lately because some people don't want to use coupons. They just want to try to save money as easily as they can. So we've been doing a stock up price video every Friday where I show you the best things to stock up on that week. And it gives people an idea of a good price so that they, if they didn't know, they know, and it gives them something to go get.
Yeah, that's really helpful because that's my thing. Like I go into the store and like, oh, this is on sale. Is it really a good deal though? I don't know, right? And I do most of the shopping because our work hours, it's the best, but often I'm in a hurry, right? And as cheap as I am, I value my time a lot. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust that this is a good deal right now and buy it on sale, but I don't know if it's a good deal actually.
And it happens a lot. Like I definitely am the same way. If I haven't researched something, maybe I don't buy it a lot or I don't know. And you see that sales sticker and you're like, oh, okay, it's probably a good deal, but it's not always the case. So I think that's one thing I've really tried to focus on lately because I really want people to know what a good price is and when they should buy it so that they can feel confident in what they're getting.
Can you give us an example of a few staple items that have a specific price that we should be paying attention to?
For sure.
Milk or, I don't know, cheese, toilet paper, paper towel.
So milk is hard because every different province has completely different prices. So it's hard for me to say on that. Same with fruits and veggies. It's crazy how much it varies across Canada. But toilet paper is one that should be, you want to aim for like $5 or less, depending on your area. It often goes on sale for like a 12 equals 24 pack at No Frills for under $5. So that's a good deal. Then we have French fries is often something that we get a good deal on. Usually we don't pay more than like $1, but that would be like a couponing deal if people are comfortable with that. And what was the other ones that you had asked me? Cheese. Cheese is a really easy one too. So cheese, you want to aim for about $1 for 100 grams, around there. That is a good price pretty much for anybody.
Toilet paper always confuses me too because I do shop a lot by unit pricing, right? Like price per 100 grams, price per 100 milliliters. And then you get to toilet paper and it's like, this package has 14 rolls equivalent to 32. And give me the price per sheet, people. I'm standing there with a calculator trying to figure it out. And
like, why do we have to put everything in different types of measurements so I can't figure it out? I want to figure it out too. And I'm lost. Like, what are we doing here?
You know how you figure it out? You look for that little roll in the middle and you judge by the size of the roll in the middle.
There you go.
If the roll's too big and the toilet paper's too small, it's not a deal.
Yeah.
Maybe a follow-up to this episode, I'm just going to buy a couple different packs and we'll unroll them and measure them and we'll do the math for you, okay?
Exactly.
But speaking of unit pricing, though, that is another great way to save money, actually, right? I was telling Colleen just before you came on with us, I was buying vanilla the other week in the store, and you see the teeny tiny bottle, the medium bottle, and then the great big bottle. And we're trained to think, oh, bigger is always cheaper. But then I looked at the unit pricing, and it was actually the middle one was cheaper per 100 milliliters. But another good way to save money, isn't it?
And yeah, it's so true. And that's exactly how we think. The bigger one is going to be the cheaper one. And it's not the case, especially if you can get the smaller ones on sale. So you definitely need to know your prices or, have an idea about them.
What about bulk buying? Do you feel that we're saving money when we do that?
I think yes and no. It depends on what the items are. So like I'm a Costco shopper as well. So there is items that I get there. And like some of their stuff is nicer or better quality. Like even the fruits and vegetables sometimes there I find is a little bit better than other stores. So it depends on what you're getting and how much you're paying at the other store. So like here's kind of an example that I use with people. So Cheez-Its, crackers, okay? They're always on sale at No Frills, and there's always coupons on them. So like I never pay more than $1 for a box of Cheez-Its, if not less, if not free. So for me to see a big box at Costco for like whatever it is, $10, I don't even know because I won't even buy it there because I know it's cheaper elsewhere. That's the kind of thing once you start to coupon, you watch and you get used to thinking about and knowing, I guess, if that makes sense.
What about close to the date products? Do you ever shop in there? And is that another way to save money?
Absolutely. So there's tons of quick expiry discounts that you can get. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Flash Food before.
Yeah. We've
That's
tried
a
that
great
a few
one.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great if a lot of people, like one of my friends, she's super into it and always gets steaks and stuff for like 50% off. And I mean, you have to watch and be a little avid with it, but even quick expiry items at the store, like that they're overstocked with. I know for me, I've got like bocconcini, the cheese for like $1 for this big jug, and it was quick expiry. And I'm like, let's do it. I love it.
But and those expiry dates, they don't scare me very much. So my wife is like, it's past the date. I'm like, who cares? It's fine.
Yeah, it depends what the item is for me too. Like if certain things I don't care at all, and then some things I care about. So
yeah, milk and cheese you might want to watch, I guess. And
yeah, it just depends.
Yogurt in my house. You don't want to come over because I've still got yogurt from, maybe August and I still eat it. It's just, it's growing a little more bacteria, making our stomachs work. What have you noticed with your own grocery bill? Have you still been able, with all these tips and everything and these tools, have you been able to keep your grocery bill at a reasonable price?
Yeah, so definitely I've noticed that like I don't do, because we don't have a large family, so I don't do those large shops always like other people do. But I've noticed the shop that I used to do is now usually like $100 almost every single time. Whereas before I felt like it was quite a bit, like maybe like 70 or less. But I do find that using coupons and price matching and doing all those things definitely helps keep it down a little bit.
This all sounds really great, but can I just like pay you to go do this for me instead?
That's what everybody says. No, you
Really?
can't. But people do, I understand too. And exactly, like it can be a lot taking in all these things to do. I find that, like I was saying kind of in the beginning there, like try something that doesn't seem too intimidating for you. And then you usually kind of get hooked. Like last week we got free French fries. We got cereal for $1. Like those kind of things are what I focus on my page to do, like things that aren't too scary and overwhelming, so that you want to keep doing it and saving the money and helping your family.
And from a fellow deal lover, couponer, the excitement, that joy, the heart pounding out of your chest, you're going to find that you're going to love it. It may be a struggle at the beginning, but once you get that excitement, you just want to keep going. And like you said, At the end of the day, it saves you money.
I think too, like the shoppers haul, people once they start doing shoppers haul and they get stuff for really cheap, like sometimes I'll do scenarios where I'll go do a shop and then I tell them, here's what you need to go do. Sometimes on Tuesdays we do that. And when people do those, they're always so excited because I think a couple weeks ago we got Dove shampoo for like $1 per bottle after points, and everyone was like, absolutely, let's do it.
Nice.
Start the
Tell
car.
Yeah.
Get all in.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why Colleen was running out the door the other week, middle of our show, bags in hand. Tell us
Gotta get those deals.
Tell us the best ways to find you online and get in on these deals with you and join in that heart-pounding exhilaration that Colleen gets.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Coupon Cutie, and then I'm also on TikTok as well, Coupon Cutie or Coupon Cutie Canada.
Thank you so much for making time for us.
Yeah, no problem.